Hi everyone, John here from LookSmart Home Inspections in New Jersey, performing great home inspections throughout the state of New Jersey. On today's video, what I want to do is something just a little bit different. So the first couple clips, I'm going to really show you guys what extensive water infiltration looks like in a house. So if you're thinking about buying a house and you walk down to the basement and you see this kind of thing where all the interior basement foundation walls or interior walls are all water damaged, have stains and mold, don't let anyone tell you that, it was just a one-time occurrence. Because often I'll go into a house and it'll be like, oh, the owner will say, oh yeah, it's just one time, Hurricane Irene, yeah, that's what happened. And then, and I go down and I look and it's like extensive water damage. And I know this has been an ongoing problem for, years and years. And they're like, saying that it's just like a one-time thing, Hurricane Irene or Hurricane Floyd. It's always one of the hurricanes, So that'll be the first couple clips, and the other several clips actually, I did a little thing differently. I actually took the video and as I went through an actual home inspection, and you'll be able to see some different defects. None of them are really that major, but it's things that you guys can learn about and just look for when you're purchasing a home yourself. So without further ado, let's take a look. Here is the video of that interior of the basement we were just talking about. Notice all of the water wicking up these paneling walls. So if you guys go into a home and you see this kind of thing in a house that you're thinking about buying, and we have all this extensive water damage, this is just not one-time occurrence. This is something that's going on for years and years, and a basement flooding and water infiltration problem exists that's going to have to be corrected, and most likely it's going to be expensive. As we move over here, we can pull some of this paper back on the paneling, and what it's going to reveal is some black mold. So this black mold is probably a mold called cladosporium, which can be mycotoxic, and it's more than likely that's going to need professional remediation as well. So mold is something you definitely don't want in a house, especially a brand new house that you're just thinking about buying. Take a look at the lower portion of this wall here. This is close to the basement stairs. So all I did here was use my index finger and poke this area, and the whole thing just fell apart and crumbled. So you see something like this in a house, you know you have an ongoing and extensive water infiltration problem in the home. So this is what it looks like when a deck is pulling away from the structure of a home. You see that big gap there? The deck has just been nailed to the house and not lag bolted. So this is a very unsafe condition. A lot of springiness and deflection exist on the deck top. So this has to be immediately corrected to avoid injury. This is what that issue looks like on the deck top. You can see I stick my whole hand in there. You see the nails are just pulling away from the structure of the home. And there's really nothing much holding this deck ledger to the house. And we're up 2 stories. So this is something that has to be corrected right away. Over here we have an older retaining wall, and we can see that the wall is starting to push outward, caused by soil pressure behind this wall. So as soil pressure builds up behind this wall, it wants to push or bow the wall outward, and that's what we see here. But if you take a look at all these walls here, and that's going to be a very, very expensive repair or replacement of these walls near term. When we come across trees like this that are growing close to the exterior of a home, we always call them out, because these tree roots growing right here can cause damage to the foundation in this corner location. So when we go downstairs, we're going to be looking for any kind of damages that exist caused by this tree. Damages are not that likely, but it is something that I'm going to tell the customer about, and we really want this tree to be removed. So look at this genius way to access an attic. So here's an attic hatch located inside a closet. So look at that. How am I supposed to enter that space? Well, that's going to be a challenge, right? Not so great. no bueno. So we finally made it up in the attic, and we're looking at this air conditioner flood or drip tray, and we can see down here that it's got some water in it. So this is usually an indication of a condensation clog or leak. The condensation system is not working correctly, or the coil is frozen up. So there's definitely something going on with this air conditioning unit that the customer is going to have to fix. I'm still in this attic, and take a look at this bathroom exhaust fan discharge pipe. Look at how long this pipe is, this flexible material going all the way across the attic space. Must be 30 or 40 feet. You think that's going to work? Probably not. So here I am in the same attic above the kitchen, and you can see this mold-like material under the roof deck in the attic space here. So this is likely to be a mold called cladosporium that's going to have to be corrected. So yep, you guessed it, a mold remediation in this area is going to probably be necessary. Okay, we're in this panel box here, and I want to show you guys what an aluminum wiring circuit looks like. So these two wires here, right here, are aluminum single strand circuit wiring, and that should be replaced by an electrical contractor because of the electric shock
fire hazard.
As we move over here, we can see the aluminum wiring circuit from this black wire right here. So that's going to have to be changed out by an electrical contractor. So we're here in this dryer, in this laundry room, and we see that this is a flexible plastic waste pipe.
Dryer vent pipe.
Behind the wall, and that is improper. That should be a rigid pipe going up through here and exiting the rear of the home. But here we have this plastic, which is a fire hazard, so that has to be changed out. Here we see a shower diverter that's not fully operational. So we have water coming out of the spout here, and water coming out of the shower head here. And if we take a look down here, if that drain were to become obstructed, the water is going to ride up this wall and possibly enter behind this gap between. So here we have an electric meter, and we have a product right up here called a duct seal. Now this seems like a minor thing, but if this product and this duct seal were to chip like we have here, water can get in between the main service wire, which is here, and the meter pan, which is here. So we want to have the customer or the client redo this duct seal so water doesn't get in here and foul up our main electrical service panel, which is located in the basement of the home. This is actually our electric meter, so water can enter here, travel down into this wire right here, into the casing, and enter into our electric panel box, causing a lot of damage. And water and electrical obviously do not mix. So on this next clip, this is actually a funny one because I pull up to the house, and the seller on the phone about a week before the home inspection is telling me, you know, that this is great. We got a brand new roof on this house and everything is great. They're all excited about this new roof. And then, you know, I go to the house, and then the only thing, and I'm looking at the roof, and it just looks strange. It looks odd. It looks just, something's fishy with this roof. So, you know, I put a ladder up, I get a closer look, and the only thing that's new about this roof is the black spray paint on the roof. So, you know, the seller has spray painted the entire roof black. Wasn't originally black, but now it's black. So I go up to the roof is brittle, and now I have to come down. I have to tell the buyer of the house that the roof, the only thing new on this roof is the paint. And, you know, she asked me how I know that, and I took a closer look, and I said, you know, it just looks strange. I took a closer look, and the roof looks like it was painted. And the other thing I noticed was the pipe penetrations, the plumbing stack vents, which are typically PVC vents. And I went to the attic to confirm, because we had a newer house. It's not an old house. You know, that's PVC, so they were white pipes. But you can see on the outside of the house that somebody spray painted these pipes, and the flashings black too. So we have a black roof, and we have black plumbing penetrations and piping as well. So that was really a disappointment. And needless to say, the buyer's upset, and we're on to home inspection number 2. Take a look. Here's that roof in question. The seller's trying to pass this off as a new roof, and it's clearly not. It's been altered or spray painted. The roof is thin and brittle and worn. And I pick up a shingle of this roof, and it just cracks. There's nothing left to this roof. It's completely dry and brittle, and it's probably 20 plus years old, and they're trying to pass it off as new. That's a shame. It shouldn't happen, but it does. So please be careful out there. Here is our painted white PVC vent pipe, which is now painted black, and also the boot under this PVC that used to be silver is now painted black as well. So we know that the roof has been altered or painted in some way, and most likely the customer is going to be on the hook for a new roof here near term. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me through this whole video. I certainly appreciate it. Hopefully you found something interesting and learned a little bit about houses today. So I've been watching a lot of videos online, and the thing to do right now is to ask you to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. So if you do those, I'll be your best friend. I certainly would appreciate that. And remember, when you're looking at houses, stay empowered and keep your eyes open.